There's some things that I set for myself a few months back that I wanted to really concentrate on and apply to my life. And I really hate that it has taken me into my 50s to really tone in on these things, hew in on these things, and concentrate on these things. But you know what? I'm glad that I've done so. And I'm going to share three things with you that has really changed my life tremendously in my mental state, the way I feel about things, the way I look at things, and it's really made my whole life a whole lot more pleasurable and peaceful. And one of the things that I have come to realize is that I was being way, way too hard on myself about a whole lot of things, not getting tasks completed, and not doing things maybe efficiently, having regrets about things that I had not done in the past. I have a lot of regrets about things that I did when I was younger, and some things that I wished I would have done better. I wish I would have been more aggressive in my schooling when I was younger and stuff like that. And I really have beat myself up through my adult life in that. So I have learned to be more forgiving of myself and not being so hard on myself. And I run across people all the time, and you may be one of them, that's, you're really hard on yourself. You may think that you're not good enough about something, or you've had some shortcomings or failures in your life, maybe a failed business, or you didn't maybe even graduate high school and you have felt like you didn't, I don't know, you didn't do things that you could have done because of that, and it maybe held you back. And you just maybe been hard on yourself that maybe you didn't finish college and you wanted to, and you've always wanted to, go back and do some of these things. You know what? It's not too late to do so. But just don't be too hard on yourself about things. If a task doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. It'll be there another time. Pace yourself. And another thing is, and I guess this kind of goes along with that, not being too hard on yourself, is, I did this for so long in my life. I had to stop people pleasing, doing things that I thought people expected of me. When somebody asked me to do something, I felt like that I had to do it, or I had to say yes. I didn't want to let anybody down. And it wasn't pleasurable in what I was doing. I was doing it out of obligation, and I was doing it out of grudgery, and I hated a lot of things I've done throughout my life because I did things that I felt like that people expected of me. And I've always hated this statement. I had this statement said to me just a few weeks ago. Somebody says, "Hey, I'm really hoping that you will take on this task right here that needs to be done. Step up to this leadership role in this." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And they said, "Well, who else are we going to get to do it?" And I said, I don't know." "Well, I'm hoping you'll take it." I said, "I'm not going to. I've learned to say no." So people pleasing is a huge thing, and it steals your joy and it steals your peace. This right here has changed even more for me than anything else. Is this right here, is I've had to learn to set the pace for my day. To set the pace for my day in the morning. And that works different for all of us in different ways in what we're doing in life. And you may be the type of person that you need to sit around and drink a cup of coffee in the morning and kind of get your thoughts together and get yourself motivated for the day. And you may be the type of person, kind of like I am this type of person. I like to get up and let's hit the road. Let's get going and get a lot of things done in the morning. And then later on through the day, that's when I kind of like to be more chilled and relaxed. But setting that mindset and that pace for the day really makes a big difference. I think about through the day some things I may face that day, some things I may possibly encounter that day, and I think of myself, how am I going to handle these certain things if they come today? And the thing about it is when you set that pace for today, set that pace is if everything doesn't go according to your plan and life is real, don't let it blow you completely out of the water and just absolutely say, well, that just destroyed my day. That just ruined my day. Why? Why would it absolutely ruin your day? You are the one that's in control of your actions. You are the one that's in control of how you allow things to affect you. I have to talk to myself like that every day and tell myself like, stuff like that every day. So, if you can relate to any of these kind of things, if you face these kind of things and maybe you've been hard on yourself and you've been a people pleaser and you just get up and you just, like I'm going to take a dart and I'm just going to throw it at the dartboard and that's just what happens today happens, no, you need to set that pace for the day. Have a plan. Put your day in a direction that you would like for it to go. That's some things that I have applied. And like I say, I wished I would have understood these things and thought about them more when I was younger and not waited as in my 50s to really think about these things and apply them, because, man, I've lived a lot of my life not being felt like fulfilled and happy and joyful because I didn't apply these things that I just talked to you about here. And I didn't introduce myself. My name is Jeff, and I hope the wind's not blowing too much in the mic. I didn't wear my little lapel. Maybe I should. But anyway, thanks for stopping by the channel, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. Until next time, have a great day.